Welcome back to the channel. We are finally in Switzerland. We've been here for the last week. We travelled down from Germany last week. I played a house concert in Maienfeld last week in Switzerland, and then after the house concert we went to a place called
Middle Earth. Yeah, so Richie met a really interesting man who is the owner of the only Lord of the Rings museum in the world, and we were invited for a private tour, which you're about to see, and it was one of the most fascinating places I've ever been to.
I don't think my video skills are going to actually do it justice, because you really have to see it in the flesh. She's got a collection of over 600 original paintings from like various artists all over the world, mainly America, Italy and Spain. And he's got all like one-off pieces like that took a year to make, like dragons and trolls and all these kind of stuff.
Incredible. Yeah, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you have to check it out. 3 to 4 hours, the big tour.
Yeah,
just the first tour, isn't it?
He does various different types of tours. Like he does ones for 9 hours, 12 hours and 3 hours, but we just got like a quick run through just to kind of go through it and see what it's all about. It was very, very interesting. It's because it's all related to Germanic mythology. He was telling us how pure the Gaelic language is, how pure Irish is, because English spoken language is actually part French and part German. So for every word you speak in English, it originates in either German or French. So that's why he was saying that English is such a bad language, because it continually is being changed.
Yeah, like the kind of original Old English has been distorted through the mixing of other languages, whereas he was saying the Irish language is totally pure.
What I'll do is I will leave all the links for Middle Earth below this video, so you can go check it out yourself. And also, if you stay until the end of the vlog, I will explain how I have my van currently in the mechanics, and unfortunately I'm unable to drive it out of Switzerland at the moment because of the issues I'm having with it. So I have to spend the money and I have to get it repaired here. Otherwise we won't have any camper van.
And we won't have any tour.
And we won't have any tour. So stay tuned. Hope you like Middle Earth.
Enjoy.
What's your name?
Rian.
Rian? Because that is the book he will read one day.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Hobbit.
Because he wants to read The Hobbit in Irish?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you need this book, because that's Irish.
Very good.
And can you read?
No, I'm German.
Okay. I was thinking.
Middle Earth is not invented by Tolkien. Many people believe that Tolkien has invented Middle Earth.
Okay.
Totally wrong.
Okay.
He used the word that is many thousand years old. It is from the Germanic mythology.
Okay.
So all that he created is in the structure like 2,000 or 3,000 years before.
Okay.
Now we go inside the rooms of adventure.
Okay.
In the Earth. This is the Hobbit Hole. Now we enter the rooms.
Oh wow.
If you read a lot of the Rings, you see it's a battle of good against evil, white against black.
Yeah.
So it's a black and white thinking behind it. And all about this creation, we talk in this tour, that people understand the creation of Tolkien, especially the connection to the Germanic mythology.
Wow. Well, that's so cool. Amazing.
So the structure is typical of the dwarves.
Yeah.
This is not a dwarf.
No.
Not really. So you will not find in New Zealand or in other places, because we have made this creature by our own hands.
Yeah.
Yes, you cannot buy it.
Wow.
It is self-made.
Okay.
And we use this from New Zealand and made it 20 times bigger.
Wow.
So it's a scale 1 to 20,
Yeah.
and this is 1 to 1. So that's like in a movie.
Yeah.
So the only one in the world that you can say I'm eye to eye to a Balrog like in the movie.
Yeah.
Yes. You can make a selfie with a Balrog. So this is a real size troll, because in the movies they are bigger. So like the Balrog is too big in the movie.
Yeah.
Double size,
Yeah.
like Tolkien described.
Yeah.
This is the real size troll.
Yeah.
In the movie they are double size.
To make it more frightening.
Yeah, they "30 centimeters. 30 centimeters! Yeah, everywhere 30 centimeters. And there's only one in the world. It's all here.
Oh my gosh, this place is huge!
The museum is huge.
Yeah.
This is that we have no time to talk about.
I know.
Only to show.
You could come here for like a long time. Even one tour, I'd say.
One tour is 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing.
But the short, the normal tour. So the long is 7-8.
7-8.
We have more to talk about.
Wow.
Tolkien. This is for people who collect the collectibles for the movies of the Peter Jackson, Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. So you see this in the cabinets there in glass. Here something that he can enjoy.
That you can connect to. Yeah.
Short and not 1-to-1.
Yeah.
That's clear.
Oh wow.
The dragon is in the scale 1-to-2 because the cinema room is too small to get the whole dragon inside.
Yeah.
But I wanted to have the whole dragon, so I made a scale 1-to-2.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point.
And did you make this yourselves?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did all this, the tree build, all that he saw. When he's 6 years old, he has the height of a real hobbit.
Okay.
So 1.20 m, you can see. And he's 128. Now you're a real hobbit.
Yeah.
So we are still in Switzerland and the van has broken down. And we are outside a McDonald's. We stayed here last night. We'd left Middle Earth yesterday evening. And then we'd gone to Bauhaus. It's like a home depot centre here in Switzerland because the coolant light came on, the warning light came on the dashboard in the camper when I was driving to Middle Earth, which was 4 minutes away from where we were parked up. So when I got there, before I left in, I topped up with some distilled water, and then we drove about 10 minutes and we got the coolant in Bauhaus centre, and then I put that in and there was nothing happening. So then I asked this man would he help me, and he got out his jump lead, so we jump started it and that seemed to work. So after we got the camper jump started, we then drove here and we were trying to get Wi-Fi so we could actually get to our next destination, because our cell phones, our mobiles don't work here in Switzerland because Switzerland is outside the EU and we've got an Irish network. So we parked here last night and we were trying to find ways of ringing AXA breakdown assistance in Ireland. So what I'm going to do now, I've managed to get a prepaid SIM here in the shopping centre beside us. I'm going to ring AXA now and see if they'll send someone out. Hopefully they can fix this issue on the side of the road. And if not, we just got to figure out how to get it sorted. It's the coolant. The coolant, what's happening is the coolant is just dropping, disappearing. I filled it up to the max in the Bauhaus home depot, which is literally, 2 minutes up the road, a 2-minute drive. Like, drove down here to try and get Wi-Fi, pulled into McDonald's, and then the engine wouldn't start. So I looked at the coolant again and it was down to the minimum. So it just dropped, disappeared. I don't know it could be a number of issues, so that's where I need a mechanic or someone that knows something.
You're broken down. You're broken down, is it?
Yeah, it's the engine won't start here.
That's not bad. I'll just take some details and then go from there. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Can you confirm the make and model for me, please?
The make and model?
Yeah, the make and model.
Yeah, it's a VW Crafter. Hello?
Where are you now?
I am, 1 second, I'll just check the map.
Yeah.
A place, it's 50 Sargans, Mels in Switzerland.
We're in Switzerland.
Yeah, I'm in Switzerland, yeah.
It's going to be hard to find you.
Yeah.
No. Nice weather, is it?
Sorry?
Nice weather.
Oh, it's lovely weather, yeah.
Oh.
Is it bad over there, is it?
Oh, jeez. It's rain every time.
Where are you located? In Mullingar, is it, or Westmeath? Or?
No, Westmeath.
Westmeath.
Yeah. It's rain all day.
It'd be a great country if they could put a roof in it, huh?
Ah, yes, country. Sargans, Switzerland.
Sargan, yeah.
There we go. Ah, yes. You're at the McDonald's.
Yeah, I'm actually in the car park in McDonald's.
There you go. I found you. I know where you are.
Yeah.
Beside Billsville Centre.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Alright, perfect.
So I've just contacted AXA, and as you can see, they've now arranged for the AXA international team to contact me, and then what they're probably going to do if they can't fix it here is they're going to want to tow me to either a place I can recommend or a place that they know of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to contact the Sofa concert I just played in Switzerland, where I was coming from before I went to Middle Earth and then came back to actual Earth. I'll contact her and let her know the situation and see if she could recommend a good mechanic, preferably not a main dealer. What do you think, Ash? Huh?
We're now waiting for AXA.
It's fingers crossed that this man can
That he's working
work his magic on the side of the road.
work his magic, and that we can go down to Montrose to our
Straight down.
friends who are waiting for us for a concert this weekend. My friend is on the way now from Bristol, Lena, with her son Nova, and our other friend Kira is also on the way on Friday. She's flying on Friday to I think she's flying into Zurich. Yeah, so fingers crossed that we get it fixed and that we can get back on the road, because yeah, it's a bit like will they, won't they?
Yeah.
Cliffhanger moment right now. But what are you thinking, Richie?
Well, he's on the phone to them, and I think the van's a bit too big for his trailer.
Okay, oh, he's there, Richie.
Maybe. The water, yeah. Here. Yeah, I have one more bottle here.
2 hours later.
The update is now that we are moved by the AXA guy. He poured in all the coolant and he's brought us to a near, well, he drove, no, you drove, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Richie drove, then the van, it drove away to a nearby garage, which we are now parked up in. And when they checked again, the coolant was gone.
Just dropped.
Dropped to the minimum. So now we are packing up, getting ready. I'm here eating the spuds that were cooked up from last night. Rian is playing, he had a very long nap. Didn't you, Rian? And he took his first steps today.
So the doggies have got their fill of water. Happy?
Rian has to wear a sun hat, look.
Rian's wearing his sun hat.
He's warmed up.
There's the Alps behind us. There's the van. They're going to take the camper into the garage, put it up on the lift and have a look to see why is the coolant disappearing so fast, and hopefully they can get it sorted ASAP. And in the meantime, we're waiting for a call back from AXA Insurance. They rang me back, the international team, earlier, and he said he's going to ring me in 2 hours time to see what the update is, and I presume that we'll probably get a hotel for the night if we're unable to get it fixed tonight.
Luckily, we didn't have to get a hotel that night, because from that garage we drove to the next garage that garage recommended, which was a Volkswagen main dealer. And they did their diagnostic tests, because that garage that we come from basically said we can't tell what's the issue. So the Volkswagen main dealer garage ran the diagnostic test, and they basically said it's a mystery, we don't understand why it's happening, why the coolant is dropping so rapidly. So they said for us to just drive on and just top it up with the coolant and just keep checking it. So we said, okay, we're going to do that. We're going to drive to my friend's town in Switzerland. And the reason we were coming here to meet my friend in Hinwil was because she had arranged a surprise party for her dad for his birthday, and had Richie performing a house concert. And it was in the most amazing venue, which was like 54 kilometers away. So we drove, no problem. We drove in then to the local co-op to get some food. And when we went back out to the car park and we were driving to my friend's house, when Richie started the van, it was like this most horrific sound ever, and the engine would not start. Luckily, my friend had just been collected by her dad from the airport and was in the town and was able to actually collect us then. And we were able to come to her family home, which is the oldest house in the town. It's like from the 16th century. It's amazing. That's where we are here today, waiting for the van to be fixed. And it just so happened that we actually broke down outside of the mechanics that my friend's dad goes to, who they totally trust, and they are a really sound Italian family. And they are sorting us out so that we can get out of here and get back on the road next week.
When we drove from Maienfeld to where we are now, it was like an hour's drive, just under an hour's drive. The coolant had only dropped a small bit, so then I topped it back up to the maximum level. And then the next day, when I went to pick up the van, I drove the van from where the mechanics is to this house now. It's only like a 3-minute drive. And then I checked the coolant, and the coolant had dropped from the maximum to the minimum. So just in the space of that short journey. So I explained that to the mechanic, and I also explained to them that I couldn't start the engine. So the reason I couldn't start the engine was because of the starter motor. It was failing. The starter motor could continue to work for up to a year, and you just have to keep trying it. But then it could just go one day. So obviously I didn't want it just to go one day while we're on tour here. So I needed to get that fixed. And then I explained to him about the coolant. Unlike the other 2 garages, he actually went through the process of elimination of what it could be. And he came up with 3 possible things, and that was the head gasket, the heat exchanger, and the oil filter housing. And he's actually narrowed it down to the housing, the oil filter housing. So that's what we're going to get replaced. Go walkies. Go walkies, come on, come on. Come on, Reen, come on. Come on. Yay, come on, Reen. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yay! Good boy, Reen. Good boy. Did you see him?
Yeah.
Well done, Reen.
Well.
You did very well. That's Reen's first big walk. He's done smaller walks with Aisling, but I've never actually seen him do that by himself. Well done, Reen. Yeah. So as you can see, they've removed all this part here, part down here. I'll just zoom in. That's that section there. That part there. That is the part that they have to replace. And that is connected to the oil filter. So what they're saying they think is the issue is that is faulty, and the water coolant and the oil run through there. They don't mix, they're not supposed to mix. You can see the two holes, the oil here, and then that must be the coolant. So they're running side by side. And what they think is happening is that this part here is faulty, and you've got the coolant on the right is mixing with the oil, and they think that's the reason that there is oil in the water. They loosened the lug nut under the van and they drained some of the oil into a pan, and he showed me that there was actual water in the oil, and he said that he's never seen so much water in his 20 years of working as a mechanic in the oil. So the mechanic thinks that it's this part and not the head gasket, because he said if it was the head gasket it wouldn't be dropping as quickly. The expansion tank wouldn't be dropping so quickly. So the other day he filled it up as far as here, then I took it for like a 10-minute spin, and when I came back it had dropped to about there. When it first happened, when I drove it, it dropped from max down to minimum. Within 3 minutes it had dropped down, so that's why they're thinking it's this part and not the head gasket. This is the part. So what they've done is they've removed this part and they've tested it, and there's no problem with that part. And if you can see these holes, the oil runs in one side and then the coolant runs in the other side, and it runs in through this and in through the oil filter. So they obviously can't take off this and check it without removing it. They think that this is where the coolant is mixing with the oil and going into the engine, and that's why we've got water, a lot of water in the engine oil. The mechanic said that if it was the head gasket, he said the coolant wouldn't be dropping so fast, and that it's more than likely this part. So hopefully they're correct and we can get it all sorted. So there it is. So that's going to get fitted on Monday. Now we got to get out of here. Let's go, Happy. He said he won't be able to start on the van until Monday, so I'm going to grab some stuff and then bring it back to the house, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, on Monday we can get out of here and it'll all be sorted.
As we're waiting, my friend Lena took us to a nearby lake where she spends her summer holidays, and oh my gosh, it is breathtakingly beautiful. As you can see here, the majestic nature just brings you back to what's important and allows us to recenter ourselves before the next leg of the journey, and just really to enjoy here in Switzerland. We went to a local pet farm and we got some lunch there, and it was just all produce from their local farm. It was so beautiful. And as you can see here, they have all of the fruit trees and what will be growing berries and apple trees that you can actually go and pick in the summer. And Happy and Sophia got some much needed playtime with some local Swiss dogs, which was great fun. And we even found the lovely play area, which had a sand pit for Rian. And Rian, for the first time, got to play with sand, which was so much fun.
Rian, you playing in the sand?
He loves the sand. Until the point of that he started to eat it, and then Mommy had to take him out.
So far we've spent 12 days in Switzerland. Each day we get out and we go for a walk in the local park or up to the Alps, where Happy and Sophia roam free.
We went to visit a nearby waterfall, which was so needed to take our minds off the worry around the van and whether we're going to be able to continue on this tour or not. Being here beside that waterfall just made us forget all of our worries and brought us back into the present moment, and it was just a gift to be in nature for the day with our friends and really attuning ourselves to why we're on this tour and just coming together as a family.
It's now Tuesday and we are still in Switzerland. I went to collect the campervan yesterday and I took it for a drive in the morning after he replaced the part. Then I brought it back after the drive and he said let the engine cool down and he would then test it to see if the coolant had dropped. And then I went back in the afternoon and unfortunately the coolant had dropped.
So Richie came back yesterday and as he walked into the door I could hear silence from him. And I said, what is it? And he said, it's not good. And literally my stomach just fell to the floor, that horrible sinking feeling. And yeah, he let us know that
There was tears. There was lots of tears.
there was lots of tears.
Crying. I was on the floor wailing around like a
Richie,
big baby.
No, you were saying that basically he's saying now it's not what we fixed, basically what we paid to get fixed.
Yeah.
Didn't work. And that it's actually part of the head gasket.
So after hearing that yesterday, we were making some plans for Aisling to go back to Ireland because we've been here 12 days now so far and it's taken this long to get to this stage. It could be potentially another month before we get this issue sorted with the van.
I was about to book my flight, myself and Rian flying from Basel to Dublin. Just about to click it, and you know the way you have to approve in the banking app, which I have on my phone, but I actually have a new phone, and so it's a new device, so it wasn't actually allowing me to make the payment.
There's
So-
Rian.
There's Rian playing. So my old phone is somewhere in the van, and I said to Richie, I'll have to just wait till tomorrow, till you go down and get the phone, so that I can actually... That's right, he said, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I said to Richie, I won't be able to book my flight tonight now because I can't approve the payment until tomorrow, till I get the old phone, which I have the app. It's just, yeah. Anyway, tech errors. So anyway, then this morning...
I got the phone call from the mechanic and he said to come down and take the van for a longer drive, that he'd actually drained some of the oil this morning in the van and he only found a tiny drop of water that he suspects was from the previous leak before he changed the part, and he said it might be that it was just air in the system, that there was like an airlock in the system, and that I needed to take the van for a longer drive to get all the coolant circulating in order to get... There's your man.
Your man, chatting.
In order to get all the coolant circulating in the engine and to really know whether it was an airlock or not, I needed to take the camper for a drive for at least a half an hour. So I took it for a drive for a half an hour, then left it back there today, and then now later on I'm going to have to go back there at 4 o'clock this evening and see if it is the airlock. So fingers crossed, if it's the airlock, we are good to go. And if not, you're just going to have to tune in to next week's vlog and see what the update is, because
We don't know.
we don't have a clue. It's just we're waiting the whole time. We have to wait. Like this last 12 days, what have we done?
We've just been waiting to find out whether the van is going to be fixed and whether we can
Every
actually...
day.
Like, we don't know whether we're going to be back on the tour, and we're literally in the most expensive country as well, Switzerland. Not knowing when we're actually being able to leave.
He said because you obviously put so much work into the van and it's your home. You know, you just can't give up on it.
No.
So
Giving up on this isn't a possibility, because this isn't just about a van. This is us following our dreams and creating our life together, and the work that we're here to create. Like, this van is a vehicle for us to actually do that. We're not going to let this small obstacle derail us from what we actually want to create in our lives and stop us from actually pursuing our path. Richie as a musician and me with my work and launching my book in the world later this year.
who's this baby boy?
Who's this?
Who's this?
Yeah, he's happy to be in the video.
So if you've enjoyed this episode, please do give it a like. Also,
subscribe to the channel to find out when the next video comes out. If you want to find out if we get out of Switzerland or what happens, tune into the next video.
and we will keep you updated on the European tour. So thanks a million for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Say bye-bye.
The future's not ours to see.
Que sera, sera. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be.
Is that right? Who's up there?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.